Hi, Jerry Jenkins here, talking about all things writing. Today I'm covering what you may find the most challenging part of writing a novel, what I call the marathon of the middle. Does this sound familiar? You've written the first few chapters of your novel, and you even have a killer ending in mind. Then you hit the middle of your manuscript, and it's as if you're suddenly running in sand. You wonder if this book will ever become a reality. Envision the middle of your manuscript as half of your total. Your opener comprises roughly the first quarter, and your ending the last quarter, leaving that marathon of the middle as half of the whole. And it's here where many writers find themselves stuck, me included, and I've been at this for over 50 years. If it were easy, anyone could do it. But don't panic, and whatever you do, don't quit. In fact, your goal should be to do more than merely survive the marathon of the middle. It should be to thrive there. If you don't, readers won't stay with you till that killer ending. If there's one cardinal sin in writing, it's boring your reader. So embrace the challenge. Win the marathon of the middle so readers say yours was a book they couldn't put down. Now here are some problems you may run into in the middle and how to solve them. First, when you've sailed from your great opener to the middle, you might hit a brick wall and start questioning your original idea. Before that, your great story idea drew you to the keyboard every day, but now the novelty stage has passed. You've been over and over your opening chapters, so to you they seem sameish, stale, even boring. So you wonder whether your idea was all that great to begin with. You've spent so long with your novel that your characters, your setting, and worst of all, your plot exhausts you. Now is the time to get another pair of eyes on your work. You'll likely be surprised at the response of your significant other or a friend. Everything about your story will be new to them, and they'll likely wonder why you're not thrilled with it. Stephen King's wife, Tabitha, found his first novel manuscript in the trash and urged him to finish it, telling him she believed he really had something. Carrie is still in print 50 years later. Don't trust your own misgivings. Get a fresh perspective. Then, beware of those new ideas for other stories that seem to pop up out of nowhere and threaten to distract you from the task at hand. Believe it or not, this is actually good news. It tells me, and it should tell you, that you are indeed a creative, one who often comes up with new ideas. You'd be amazed at the number of wannabe writers who tell me they don't know what to write about. You don't and won't have that problem because you're creative. The problem is that these new ideas that leap out at us always look more attractive than what we're working on. So you must respond to them, and effectively. Meaning what? That you need to merely jot them down and get them in a file that you can access later when your current project is done. Otherwise, you'll always be leaving what you're working on and following that shiny new object or longing for the grass that always looks greener on the other side of the fence. Be decisive and proactive, and above all, finish what you've started. Become a finisher, and the momentum you gain from that accomplishment will propel you to then prioritize your new ideas and start on a new one. Otherwise, the marathon of the middle defeats you. Stay at the task. Okay, moving on. Finally, you might be struggling because you're too eager to write your ending. Good stories still have beginnings, middles, and ends, but you can't get from beginning to end without getting through that marathon of the middle as much as that end beckons you. Trust me, the better the middle, the better the end will be. Writing a dramatic middle that proves engaging and compelling keeps readers with you for the big payoff you both anticipate. The biggest mistake we novelists can make is simply filling space in the middle so we can get to the climax and resolution. Our job is to force readers to keep reading. Every word, every sentence, every paragraph, and every page should push, pull, or drag them to the next. How? Well, in one sense it's simple. In another, it's not easy. The secret lies in what binge-worthy TV scriptwriters have discovered, and which we should emulate: establishing setups that demand payoffs. In binge-worthy television, first there's one setup at the beginning that will be paid off at the end of the season in the last episode. But there are also episode-long setups that will be paid off at the end of each installment. But beyond that, and these are just as important, especially for the marathon of your middle, TV scriptwriters inject mini setups that are paid off just before or just after the next commercial. That's what you want to emulate. From page 1, set up for your reader the book-length worthy problem, quest, journey, or question. What is it that your main character needs or wants? What stands in the way of their getting it? And what do they plan to do about it? That book-length setup demands a payoff in the end. If it doesn't carry that kind of weight, your novel will be too frail to keep readers until the last page. Once that's established, inject a setup that demands a payoff by the end of every chapter, or at the very least a payoff by the start of each next chapter. But again, even beyond that, you need short-term setups on nearly every page that demand quick payoffs. And don't worry, you can't overdo this. And not every setup must be huge or dire. Even the hint of a next-day appointment plants in the mind of the reader something to look forward to. They'll know intuitively that if you establish a dental appointment for your character the next day, it's not going to be a routine teeth cleaning. Something will happen there. That is the secret to maintaining your pace and tension throughout the entire book. Most writers find this natural and almost easy as they write their opener or ending. But accomplishing this in the marathon of the middle is what can separate you from the majority of your competition and make your novel a winner. The books you talk about and recommend, the ones that keep you reading until the wee hours, include compelling setups throughout that keep you turning the pages for payoffs. So don't view the marathon of the middle as a grueling, seemingly endless journey. Rather, see it as a vista on which you can keep your character in terrible trouble, and everything they try to do to fix things makes that trouble only worse, until all appears hopeless. The things they learn from failure and the muscle they build through all this turmoil will make them heroic in the end. That's the very definition of character arc. Keep establishing setups that demand payoffs, and you'll find your middle as riveting as your opening and closing. That's how to thrive in the marathon of the middle. Then there's the matter of writer's fear. We all face it, yes, even those of us who have already succeeded as authors. We fear our writing won't be good enough. We fear we don't know enough. We fear the competition is too great. We fear no one will like what we've written. I say embrace all those fears and acknowledge them as valid. You're right on every count. But don't let that paralyze you, because then fear wins. Rather, let fear motivate you to do your absolute best work every time. And don't buy into the myth of writer's block. How can I call it a myth when you may be suffering from it right now? I'm not saying writers don't get stuck occasionally. We all do. But no other profession is allowed this conceit. You can't call your boss and say you can't come in today because you have worker's block. Find the reason you feel stuck, and you'll soon find a solution. If fear is all it takes to make you quit, you may have chosen the wrong dream. Don't feel like writing today? Fine. There's always something you can do. Think, research, outline, do something. Someone's getting published every day. Why not you? You can do this. If you found this video helpful, like it, comment on it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. If you're looking for more writing resources, you can find my blog at jerryjenkins.com/blog. You can also sign up for my 5 Days to Better Writing workshop, a free sneak peek into my Writers Guild and access to my best writer training. By signing up with absolutely no obligation, you'll gain access to a free video of one of my training sessions each day for 5 days. Click the link in the description below for details. All the best with your writing, and I'll see you next time.